From your application to getting the keys in your hand, here's what happens. Once you apply, the first step is the application. That is part of the applying process, is the application. Once that comes over, I'll ask for usually 5 basic documents, give or take. Everybody's different, so we all have different document requests per client. That's what we evaluate. As we are talking on the phone, I try to take notes, and that way I can get a better idea of what you're going to need to supply, just so we can say, hey, we've got a good deal here, we can move forward with this. Once I get that application and I have a few documents and I can say, hey, we're good to go, I'm going to submit that over to my manager. Then he's going to submit it to my assistant. Then she's going to submit it to our processor. And then they're going to submit it to an underwriter. This is all before we go shopping. What we're doing is we're getting you underwritten. Sometimes it's called a credit underwrite. Sometimes it's called a TBD underwrite, or even a fully underwritten credit approval. There's a lot of names for it. But at the end of the day, the underwriter has said this person can do this loan. Once we come out of underwriting, it usually takes 3 to 5 days, you're going to get what's called a conditional approval. This is where we look through the conditions and say, yeah, we can do that, we can do that, we can do that. If we find something that we say, we just can't do that, then we go back to the drawing board and we go through a process called restructuring. But let's assume you made it all the way through. We'll go under contract. This is a very exciting day. Once we get under contract, we'll get a lot of property documents. We'll get an appraisal ordered. You'll want to do an inspection. We might need to do a pest inspection. We might even need to get some work done. A lot can happen in this time period, but if we're already underwritten, it's all going to happen regarding the collateral. So once we get that done, we'll seek what we call the clear to close, the CTC, the best 3 letters in my business. I know it's only 2 letters, but you get the idea. The clear to close means that you are finally approved from the underwriter. Doesn't mean we're done yet. Still have a couple steps to go. After we get our clear to close, we'll go through a process called a balancing. This is when my closer and the title company will get together and they'll make sure the numbers all match up. Now, a lot of times we have some numbers that we have to figure out, and we do this and we do that, but it usually takes about 24 hours. And then by that time we can say, all right, we got it. And then what we'll do is my closer will click a button and the documents will go from CMG to the title company, where you will meet usually within 24 to 48 hours and you'll sign some documents. At that point, once we've signed those documents, I'll make you a guarantee your loan's going to close. I never guarantee anything until the blue pen is in your hand. Once we sign all the documents and we've sent those documents to CMG to review for signatures, they'll say we are clear and we're done and you are now homeowners and you'll get keys. There's a few important things to remember during this process, from the time we apply to the time we get our keys. Please don't open up any new trade lines. Don't open up any new types of credit. Don't change jobs. Be just real careful. Any large deposits, let's talk about that, because that can critically hamper the ability to get those keys, all of it. What happens after closing? Well, my number still rings. If you have questions, and you should, give me a call. Shoot me a text message, send me an email. You might want to know how you set up your account for automatic payment. You might want to know, who's going to service your loan. And by the way, CMG services about 90% of their loans. We're one of the few lenders that do that. But if you have questions or you need some of that information, we'll also send you a link to your documents. So everything you signed, everything that you need, your survey, copies of electronic, we'll be happy to help you get that stuff. Just reach out to me. Just because the loan's closed doesn't mean my phone stops ringing, I promise you. If you follow this series, you're going to be much better equipped to purchase your first home. If I was to sit here and tell you that every first-time home buyer doesn't have any hurdles, no bumps in the road, I think that would be a fool's errand. The reality of it is, it isn't easy. They haven't made this process easy. I'm here to guide you through the process, but there will be some hurdles. So work with us, we'll work with you, and we'll have hopefully a good time doing it. We'll learn a lot along the way. My whole goal when we do this is to help you be a better consumer when it's all said and done.